Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we'll be unboxing 3, in my opinion, must-try Amouage fragrances, but there's more backstory behind that. But we're going to be featuring today Amouage Interlude Black Iris Man, Amouage Enclave, and finally, from the library collection, Amouage Rose Incense, which is Opus 12. So, 2 of these fragrances I've actually owned before, but I got rid of them, and now they're back. So I haven't smelled them in, I think, over 2 years. And Enclave is actually a blind buy, but not really. I've watched about, I don't know, 10 reviews on it, and I've read a bunch of stuff. So I think I know what I'm in for, but you never know with Amouage. So this should be a really fun video. If you enjoy the channel, be sure to hit the sub button, hit the like button. I think we're over 4,000 subs now, so thank you so much for that. The Chanel ranked list should already be out. And guys, at 5,000 subscribers, I will be ranking my entire Amouage collection. And I think at this point, it's going to sit at about 34 fragrances. So a lot of the house will be covered. I think that for this video, it will be fun for me to actually smell Enclave first. Now, you might have noticed there's no cellophane on the boxes. I just took it off before the video. These were all sealed when I got them. So let's do Enclave. So this is the presentation for Enclave. Obviously, the new Amouage presentation. Some people don't like it. You know, I've held old Amouage bottles and boxes. I've held the new stuff. I like it. Enclave is actually perfumed by Julien Rasquinet. Julien Rasquinet is typically a pretty heavy-handed perfumer. Although, he's done stuff for Creed like Royal Oud that's on the lighter side. But he also perfumed the Moon from Frederic Malle, which is like a nuclear weapon. Okay, so this fragrance is interesting because Enclave is actually supposed to evoke something about the Omani coastline, specifically the fjords of Musandam on the Omani coastline, which it says on the back of the box. For those of you that are interested in notes, top notes: spearmint, cardamom, cinnamon bark, pink pepper. Middle notes: frankincense, patchouli, vetiver, rose. Base notes: amber, labdanum, and Saffiano. And Saffiano is an interesting material. It's supposed to be this synthetic base note. And apparently this is one of the only fragrances that uses Saffiano in the note listing. All right, so let's unbox Enclave and let's get our nose on it. All right, so typical beautiful Amouage presentation. This is the bottle. I actually really like it. The cap and logo are kind of this sort of like concrete gray, and the bottle is this beautiful, I don't know, it's like a blue-green sort of thing. Let's smell it though. Right, so I'm expecting a minty amber, but powerful. All right, I'm not going to do these on skin. I have some other stuff on skin from previous video. I will, of course, put these on skin and wear them later. Yep, that's an Amouage. It's very, very potent, at least in the opening. But I'm happy to say I don't really get the toothpastey thing people describe in this fragrance. So, yeah, so you get a blast of this very realistic spearminty, and specifically spearmint. It isn't like the mint in Beach Hut. It's not like the mint in something like Herba Fresca by Guerlain, or, what's another mint fragrance? Nota di Viaggio No. 2 by Mayo Fasciuni. This is a spearmint chewing gum mint. Okay? And I definitely get... I get spices. I'm not sure if it's saffron or... Well, Saffiano. Maybe that's a saffron material. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, like something that comes off to me as saffron, spicy, something like that. But you can tell this is going to dry down into this smooth, ambery, sort of glowing base. This is absolutely beautiful. I would consider this a total win of a blind buy. I do not condone blind buying, by the way. The only reason I did this is because I did a lot of research and I didn't feel like ordering a sample. Hey, do as I say, not as I do. You know what I mean? This is absolutely gorgeous. Powerful. I'm interested to see how this develops on skin, whether or not anything really changes. I don't even really have to hold the strip up to my nose to actually smell this. I'm not getting really any imagery, to be honest with you. It's supposed to be evocative of an Omani coastline, the fjords of Musandam. If I'm really stretching, I could see sort of a faint image of, okay, maybe the minty freshness is supposed to represent the water, and the amberiness is supposed to represent something about the desert dunes rising up from the coastline. That's me really reaching, but I don't immediately get some like incredible image in my head. So that is a very, very early impression of Amouage Enclave. Absolutely beautiful, kind of underrated. I don't hear too many people talk about this. A couple people, like I think Justin from, God, I forget his channel name, but there's someone that talks about this that has a huge channel. But other than that, not really a main Amouage you ever see mentioned. I would say this is wearable in pretty much all seasons, but it's kind of really powerful, so maybe not like office friendly. All right, moving on to Interlude Black Iris Man and Opus 12 Rose Incense. These are both perfumes I've owned in the past, over 2 years ago when I was just getting into fragrances. To be honest with you, I bought these at the wrong time. I was a total noob, didn't know anything about fragrances. I was like, oh yeah, I'll buy these. That's a good idea. Needless to say, I ended up getting rid of them. I just wasn't ready for something as daring as Interlude Black Iris. With that being said, I haven't smelled either of these fragrances in 2 years, but I found really excellent deals on them, and I'm sort of building out my Amouage collection right now. I've been selling off a ton of stuff, building out my Amouage collection. I've sort of decided Amouage is my favorite brand, and I'm kind of exhausted in paying attention to other brands, so I'm just going to ride out with Amouage, and that's my decision. So let's go for Interlude Black Iris Man. Haven't smelled this in about 2 years. Beautiful packaging as always, but let's get into actually smelling it. I will read the notes, though. This is, of course, perfumed by Pierre Negrin, who did the original Interlude. He's done Interlude 53, and he's done this. Also, Reasons by the brand. So it says, a complex interplay of stoic serenity and vibrant power, Interlude Black Iris is the ultimate incarnation of comforting luxury. Really, top notes, bergamot, rosemary, violet leaves. Heart notes, amber, cistus, frankincense, orris, myrrh, vanilla. Base notes, leather, cedarwood, sandalwood, oud, and patchouli. I remember this being incredibly heavy. Let's see what I think about it now. All right, so here is the bottle for Interlude Black Iris Man. It's this beautiful sort of dark blue to black gradient with the gunmetal logo and the blue gemstone and the gunmetal cap. Stunning presentation, as always, from Amouage. This is a 2025 bottle. Okay, cool. So, haven't smelled this in 2 years. I remember this being incredibly heavy, daunting, almost like a horrifying smell, like a very in-your-face, dark smell, really true to like that black iris name. Okay. Interlude in general is kind of like that, though. Yep. But you know what? It's funny. It's funny how much your taste changes over the years. Because 2 years ago, I couldn't take this at all. Right now, it's like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, sure, whatever. It's Interlude. But wow, it's really dark. Like, this might be darker and heavier than Interlude 53. I really think it is. It's smooth, though. It's very, very smooth. I actually am picking up... Is there violet leaf in this? Did I read that? There are violet leaves. I pick up the violet leaves. It's this bitter ozonic note. It's sort of almost slightly watery. It's definitely bitter, though. I do pick that up. But Interlude is kind of bitter already with that sort of really heavy... oregano, herbal quality with the frankincense and all that. But this is a different type of bitterness I'm picking up in the top. Ashy, black, dense and thick, very heavy. But there is a smoothness to this that I think some of the original interludes are... Well, the original interlude is missing, at least in the opening. It's a very chaotic scent. Interlude 53 is kind of the original, but rounder and smoother. This is even smoother than Interlude 53. And I am picking up on that sort of orris buttery thing, but it's sort of underneath a lot of stuff right now. I'm sure this will transition and change on skin. And this type of fragrance really does need skin, but I'm recording this late at night. I don't need to put, a 12-hour fragrance on right now. But yeah, I mean, this is true to its name. Interlude Black Iris Man. This is a dark, heavy scent. I really agree with Daniel's take on this fragrance from the channel Seldomly Often. He describes Interlude as a fragrance that really just sinks to the floor. Totally agree with that. It really does feel like that. But yeah, this is gorgeous. I can't believe I sold this. Well, actually, I can totally believe it because I wasn't ready for this, but now I am, and it's gorgeous. I would never wear this outside of winter, though, personally. Not even fall. I would rather wear Interlude 53 in fall. I think it's more appropriate. This is winter only for me, but I'll be enjoying it in the winter. So that is a reintroduction, I guess, to Amouage Interlude Black Iris Man. And last up is Opus 12 Rose Incense. All right, here's the box. I always really love the art on the boxes. The perfumer is Bruno Jovanovic. He perfumed Monsieur, I believe, for Frederic Malle, one of my favorite Frederic Malles. Kind of an in-your-face, massive patchouli fragrance. Bruno Jovanovic is a very heavy-handed perfumer in a lot of his work. This fragrance is interesting because it says here, inspired by the uncertainty of Rosebud, the mystery in Citizen Kane, Rose Incense is an ambry and pointillist constellation of gleaming moments whose beauty compels us to believe that only childhood memories are real. Interesting. Top notes, Elmi frankincense, hyper absolute. No idea what that is. Black ink accord. Art notes, Damascus rose, frankincense, resinoid, pseuderol. Base notes, myrrh, vanilla, cedarwood, and sandalwood. All right, let's smell this. Here is the bottle. This being a library collection bottle, it has this beautiful satin finish. It completely repels any fingerprints if you're finicky about that. Amouage presentation in general is absolutely top tier, except for the atomizers. Other than that, I think they're pretty much best in the business. For those of you that are unfamiliar with some of the new Amouage bottles, if you look in the cap in this bottle, if you have a 2025 or later cap, you will see it actually has a crown. It has a crown in the cap, so that's more of like a more authenticity confirming things. All right, so Rose Incense, huh? Nothing on this. Let's revisit this. So I remember this being kind of a grandma rose to me. I don't know. I was, like I said, I didn't know what I was talking about back then. I wasn't ready for this sort of fragrance or Amouage in general over 2 years ago. Oh my God, it's potent. It's really strong. But it's why did I sell this? What the hell was wrong with me? Yeah. Wow. Okay, so there Elemi resin? Did I read that in this? Yes, Elemi. So I get a little bit of brightness in the top note of this. I think that might be the Elemi resin. It's a sort of lemony resin. If you want a fragrance to help you figure out what that smells like, try Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum. That has a really nice Elemi resin note. But I think it's really aiding this brightness. Of course, the rose is bright as well, but there's something else in the top that's sort of this resinous, thick, viscous brightness. And they mentioned that black ink accord, and I didn't remember it until I read it, but yes, there is this sort of inky aspect to this fragrance in the top. It isn't as inky or like as weird smelling as it might sound, but it does aid this, it does add this sharpness, like a metallic sharpness. And then of course you're met with the most beautiful, wispy, creamy frankincense with this full-bodied pink, very bright, almost transparent feeling rose. But it isn't transparent in terms of like scent profile. It's dense. This is actually pretty heavy. It's so beautiful. I mean, this is such a beautiful rose fragrance. I can't, I mean, I'm already thinking of like getting rid of a couple more rose fragrances just because I have this now. Yeah, the incense also has it gives it a little bit of texture. I sort of think of that incense texture as almost like a sawdusty woodiness in terms of texture, not smell. It does have that sort of almost a rough edge to something. The wispiness. But yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. I don't think a lot of people really talk about this as well. It kind of gets overshadowed by some of the other stars in the library collection, like King Blue and Silver Oud and Royal Tobacco, of course. But if you love rose, but you want something that is supremely elegant in a unique way, Rose Incense, Opus 12 Rose Incense, I think will really satisfy your needs. Beautiful gold text on the library bottles as well. And I can't stress enough how beautiful the library collection bottles are with that satin finish. It's just gorgeous. All right. So this has been a successful haul, if I don't say so myself. Love all these fragrances now. I'm actually let's actually smell Interlude Black Iris just to round the video out again. It's heavy. This is no 5-hour sunny day fragrance. Okay, this is like you put this on for the whole day. This is a 15-hour fragrance. It is slow moving. It's going to take a long time to change on strip or on skin. Heavy, dark, dense, beautiful though. All right, that's going to wrap this video up, guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Let me know if you tried any of these fragrances in the comment section. I'm going to have way more videos out where this came from. So if you enjoyed, be sure to hit the sub button, hit the like button, and I think I'm going to do an Amouage review pretty soon on Royal Tobacco, which I just recently found out is actually the Amouage I have owned for the longest. So I think that deserves a full review on the channel. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.